you're not embarrassed to start to lay out a vision of Israeli sovereignty. You have a new movement / book that's coming out called One Jewish State. OneJewishState.net is the website, and social media as well, One Jewish State. And you just announced that the book is coming out. I was lucky enough to see an early copy. Let's talk about this. Here's a former ambassador who has had a passion for the land of Israel and did a lot in that role. Now you're continuing that activism through this movement and book. So tell me what's the premise here?
So the 30,000-foot premise is in the title. There's 22 discrete Muslim states with national religion, and other 20 or so where quasi-Muslim national states. You got Christian states, Buddhist states, Hindu states. As the title suggests, why can't the Jewish people just have one Jewish state,
right,
the size of New Jersey, in their biblical homeland, in territory that was given to the Jewish people pursuant to a text, a 3,000-year-old text, which gives the Jewish people the greatest title, okay, the most immutable, undeniable title to a piece of land than any other people anywhere in the world, okay? Could we just have one Jewish state? Right? That's sort of the overall premise. But the second point is, look, if you're a person of deep faith, if you're a person who's an atheist, if you're a person on the far right, on the far left, just in the middle, this works for everyone. It's not right, it's not left, it's just smart, right?
Why is that? Is it going to be good for the Arabs?
It's good for the Arabs. It's not good. It's great for anyone who lives within Judea and Samaria, because what it entails is the state of Israel, okay, which is the only democracy in the Middle East and the only country which has a demonstrated track record of empowering and advancing its minority population, especially here, its Arab minority population. It is the state of Israel assuming responsibility within Judea and Samaria for the human dignity, the prosperity, the education, the welfare, the health of every single inhabitant of that land. No one can do this better than Israel. Palestinians know that. Palestinians know that the Palestinian Authority is not a governing body. It's entirely corrupt. No one's made a good living working for the Palestinian Authority unless they're at the upper echelons, taking kickbacks. The Palestinians have lost complete faith in the ability of the Palestinians to self-govern, and they never have self-governed. Right? There's never been a Palestinian state for a reason. They don't have the capacity to self-govern. Israel has shown its ability to do so with compassion, with kindness, with respect. So it is. If you just care about the Palestinians, this is the right answer. If you just care about the Jewish people in Judea and Samaria, works for you too. If you care about everybody, but care about building a more peaceful region, okay, this is the solution. You don't. It's not a. People say it's an annexation plan. No, it's a plan that brings to this area that's been in dispute for some 50 plus years with nothing but violence, nothing but sorrow and heartache for the people who live there. It brings a resolution that works for everybody. Security, human rights, human dignity. It's consistent with faith. And by the way, Mike Pompeo says this at the foreword that he wrote to my book. Why should we be surprised that God's will, fulfilling God's will, that this land was given to the Jewish people, fulfilling God's will is actually going to lead to the best outcome for all the inhabitants of the area? Why is that a surprise? Right? I mean, nobody knows better than God as to how to bring dignity and prosperity to the human being and to save the human condition. So that's really what the book is about.
Tell me about how One Jewish State affects the Abraham Accords.
So look, I think for Israel to really provide to the Palestinians living in Judea and Samaria the types of governmental services that will, begin to de-radicalize that population. And again, recognizing that this is a process that may take some time and may involve weeding out. There's still going to be terrorists that have to be dealt with and, have to be weeded out. So it's not like this happens overnight. But for Israel to develop, the infrastructure there and the educational system and to teach, Palestinians, not to hate Jews, but to love life, right? And to pursue maybe health sciences and political science and, to really think about how to build a better world. It's expensive. Now, Israel just suffered through this massive trauma. They're going to run, budget deficits for who knows how long. going to be a trying time to get out of this trauma. Israel will, there's no doubt, but it'll take a few years. And what do the Abraham Accord countries want, right? Their issue is they feel that there has to be a solution that provides a better life for the Palestinians. I believe they know in their hearts that a Palestinian state won't do that. A Palestinian state will create yet one more terrorist platform in this region that will be bad for everybody. So this has to be a partnership, I think, with the Emirates. I think with the Saudis too. I think with some of the other, moderate Sunni nations to say, look, help us, de-radicalize Judea and Samaria under Israeli sovereignty, but with enough resources to really, enable these countries to say, look, we've taken care of the Palestinians. We've assumed for historically an obligation to the Palestinians. It doesn't have to be a state, but it has to. We care about the Palestinian people, not a particular Palestinian leader who's been in office 20 years past his electoral mandate. So that we have to have those discussions, and I think we can. I think deep down, everybody understands what Israel's dealing with. They understand who the Palestinians are. They understand what their flaws are, what the problems are. They understand that a lot of people, a lot of decent, innocent people have been caught in the crossfire and need to be extricated from that. And I think it's a great joint project for Israel with the Abraham Accord countries, and it will expand, I believe, the Abraham Accords, all to create this circle of peace and security as a bulwark against the one bad actor in the region, which is Iran.
Right. So a one Jewish state that is strong, is able to exist within its borders, but also has the military prowess, the economic prowess to push back on actors who are inflaming this region.
Yeah, it just makes the whole region more stable and more peaceful.